can leaders empower their employees? There are two main strands in leadership. One is about the leader-led form of leadership, where it's about the leader telling people what to do and people following their orders. And the other and more common type now in more modern times is empowerment leadership or collegial leadership. So how do leaders do that? Well, if you were to follow the model, say, of transformational leadership, you'd be looking at the 4 I's of transformational leadership, which would be individualized consideration. So that would be knowing everybody in your team, knowing their biographies, knowing their stories, taking consideration of them individually. The other would be intellectual stimulation. That would be allowing people to grow intellectually within your group, keeping them always up to date with things, allowing them to go on courses, educate themselves, get more out of the job than just the instrumental nature of the job, to actually learn and progress. Although there are these 4 I's of transformational leadership, I'd rather not get fully into them, and I'd rather turn it to something else, which I particularly like. And this would be the ABC of motivation by McClelland in 1961. Take the A, for example. A stands for achievement. I can motivate people through achievement. That means in the workplace, I set people tasks where they can achieve something. If they achieve something and feel like they've won, or not necessarily beaten anybody else, but just achieved a personal goal, they will be motivated. They'll go home after a good day of having achieved something and feel like they did a job well. And that's very important. If people don't have this achievement in their workspace, they'll soon get demotivated because there's no reason for them to achieve things. The B of motivation is belonging. For me, this is one of the central things of human groups as they work together. People want to belong. People feel happy when they're in a group. People feel unhappy when they're excluded from the group. Look at any playground with children. When children exclude another child, they do it to punish the other child for behavior that isn't preferred, in order to elicit from that child behavior that gets them back into the group to be like everybody else. So grown-ups are the same. People in workplaces include people and exclude people, and a good leader will be able to see these processes and make sure they can manage the process so that people are included and feel like they belong. If people feel like they belong to a family or a tribe. And if they feel like that, then they are motivated. So the identity of the group and the identity of the individual is very, very important in being motivated. And a good leader will be able to manage this process. The third one is control. We feel very motivated when we have some degree of control about our environment. So if I can control the steps of my working day, if I have control over my piece of work that I have to do, I'm motivated because it's mine. But if all control is taken away from me and every step I do in my workday is dictated to me and I'm not allowed any individuality, I will soon become demotivated because I have no control over my working day. And we can see this a lot in societies or in cultures where, say, the government or the company or the culture allows the individual only small little bits of control and dictates everything. People get very quickly demotivated and they don't want to work and they don't want to take part because there's no autonomy. In cultures that allow a larger degree of control, people are more motivated and happier to work because they're given a task and told, right, you know what to do, get on with your task. And that makes people happier. So, in terms of empowerment, I'd go to those 3 things of motivation. First, you have achievement. Secondly, belonging. And thirdly, control.